Good day, Cabinet of Nobility. My name is Joy Foster, and today's story that I will be reading for you is The Marquis of Third Fortress, written by yours truly, Joy Bells. In the land of Wichita State University, ruling over the kingdom of Wheatshocker at the time was Queen Elizabeth and Duke Alaraca. As it had come to be, Joy Bells had been appointed Marquis over the Third Fortress. This, ladies and gentlemen, is where our story begins. It was a glorious day when Joy Bells found out that she was being moved from Fifth Fortress to Third Fortress. She immediately began to meet the people she was to govern and assume the responsibilities placed upon her. There were bulletin boards. There were door decorations every month. There were educational programs, pre-programming forms and post-programming forms, community logs, needs-based and take-two programs, advertising and academics, and the unforgettable health and safety checks. As daunting of a task as it seemed to be, Marquis Bells was not concerned, for the people loved her. Little did she know that there were dragons in the land. Marquis Bells had no idea that they had followed her to this land. She had encountered them before, but was able to get by without having to go into battle against them. Their names were imbalance and poor time management. Like yin and yang, one did not function without the other. You see, imbalance did not play fair. The more time the Marquis Bells spent with her people, the closer imbalance got to her. Poor time management was the meaner of the two. His plan was to take small attacks at Marquis Bells before dealing the final blow. Not paying attention to the forces around her, Marquis Bells continued to govern. She discovered that music was universal love that brought people together. So introduced to her ears were Nigerian, Arabic, Hindi, and Spanish music. As she was listening, the dragons got closer and causing her to miss deadlines for work and her academics. Marquis Bells paid no mind, figuring that she would recover without any treatment. So she continued to govern, and boy did she do it all. If her people called, she answered, supporting them in every way possible. She stayed with her people at the hospital till 3 a.m. in the morning. The dragons got closer. She went to their soccer games. The dragons got closer. She even played in a card game tournament for a card game she had no idea how to play, just to get some cards for her people. Marquis Bells supported her people in every way possible. All the while, the dragons got closer. Queen Elizabeth saw the battle between Marquis Bells and the dragons on the horizon, so she tried to warn her. Queen Elizabeth armed Marquis Bells with the sword of schedules and the shield of learning, when to say no, but alas, Marquis Bells did not use them. It came to pass that imbalance and poor time management struck their deadliest blow, academic dismissal. With death certain and no hope in sight, Marquis Bells took one last survey of the land to say goodbye and accept her fate. But what is that she saw in the distance? It was her armor! Just when she thought she had nothing left, she broke free from the dragon's grasp and ran to her armor. Using her sword of schedules, she attacked poor time management with viciousness. With great ferocity, she used her shield of learning when to say no to block and balance. It took all of her might and every fiber of her being, but Marquis Bells came out victorious. By December 2013, she was off probation for her job and for her academics. To this day, she continues to dress in full armor, recognizing that those dragons are still looming, watching, and waiting. Marquis Bells continues to serve as Marquis of the Third Fortress. With luck and approval from the cabinet of nobility above her, she hopes to keep her position as Marquis. The end. Thank you all for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Something my mom always said was that college can either be the best years of your life or the worst years of your life. And being an RA, I've definitely experienced both. I've been and will continue to be a confidant, a friend, a resource, a support system, a tutor, and most of all, an example of a good student and a servant to my residents. Pretty much whatever they need me to be, I have been and will continue to be if allowed to return to housing. My goal is not to just bring experience to the table, but also to impact lives in such a manner that not only do they want to return to housing, but they push their children to come to Wichita State Housing and Residence Life. Everything we do now, and I do mean everything we do now, is building a legacy. And my desire for Wichita State Housing is for it to be a good one. Thank you for your time, and hopefully I'll see you next year.